Hi everyone, welcome to Mtoto News Insight. I am Anlin Barbara. Street children from all over Nairobi gather to commemorate the International Day for Street Children on Thursday, 12th April at City Stadium in Nairobi County. The event was organized by a number of institutes including Kwetu Home of Peace, who rescue street children and rehabilitate them as well.
And reintegrate them back to the society. Our program goes for 2 years and 3 months. Basically, we have two centers. We have the drop-in, where when we rescue the boys, we take them. That is in Madaraka, and the main center that is in Roy. Yeah, it's our process. And we start our integration. This is a process, and we start the reunion at the time when we see the boy in the street. That is how we start the integration process. Because when we go to the streets to rescue the boys, we first of all build our rapport with the boy. Now we'll get to know more about the boy. Now we start figuring if this boy is this boy from Nairobi? Have they come from hub country like in maybe Eldoret, whatever part of the country? Because some of them don't belong here in Nairobi. Though many of them come from different slums in Nairobi. Now when we take this boy to the center, according to the boy, we have the case started with the case sort of where this boy, according to the boy, I come from this place and this place, and then we also get the same information from me that why did you go to the street? So we try to see the underlying issues. Then after 1 month, when the boy is all in the first 3 months, when the boy is in the street, we want to ensure that we do a home tracing for the boy. That is now we are starting a reunion for the parents, so that our idea is to have a successful integration. So the boy might help us trace the family, or if the child cannot remember the place well, we can, because some of these boys have been to schools, he can remember a school, a church, or a tips camp or something. So we use the boys to maybe to trace their homes.
The street kids also presented their issues and recommended solutions to the government about those issues facing them.
Life ala kusumbua na mkoro za chuo za kukula nini hizo ndio unaona anapata na shida. Inabidi unaangalia unaona bila kusumbua mkoro hata ni ile kujitafutia si ndio sema sometimes hakuna mtu hivi kuna tanga mkoro na lakini ile muhimu siangalia mali ya mtu ni hii ndio ameandalia bill fine za kuweka hatukwangi solo bado tukiwa gazeti kitala yani gazeti kama ni lakini sana kitu gazeti uanga tu mnafurahia leo unafurahia unaona kumbe kuanga na watu bado wanafikiria yenyewe inatusaidianga sana bado ndio inakaa mingi na things.
The government has launched a 4.5 billion shilling comprehensive medical cover that will cater for all students in public secondary schools. Speaking during the launch at State House, Nairobi, President Uhuru Kenyatta on Friday said the cover will benefit some 3 million students. The government will pay a premium of 1,350 shilling for every student under the cover. This will have a phenomenal impact on our economy. However, this cover only covers high school students only, leaving majority of children in primary, pre-primary uncovered. As much as we recognize the government efforts to universal healthcare, without covering preteen children, it will not be universal healthcare, considering that the first years of a child's life are the most critical.
The National Hospital and Insurance Fund must therefore move now with speed and register all learners for them to access services when our schools reopen. Since students are expected to be in school most of the time, the provider must ensure that students access medical services close to the schools.
The medical fee that has been factored into the budgeted school capitation will be used to cover medical insurance for our children.
Over 300 participants from around the world gathered to discuss child rights issues. Participants represented global companies, financial institutions, civil society, the UN, academia, and government. The day began with His Majesty King Carl Gustaf the 16th welcoming the participants and emphasizing that the child rights perspective needs to penetrate all activities. During the day, companies and organizations were urged to sign the Global Child Forum's Pact Pledge, a pledge to advance children's rights and businesses. Nearly 50 leading companies and organizations took up the challenge by pledging to at least one of a possible 5 commitments, all spurring actions on children's rights within their operations and communities. Take the pledge.
Over the past 9 years, one thing has become increasingly clear to me. Business impacts children. And therefore, we must let children impact business. Leaders over corporate and finance sector are in a unique position to protect and to advance children's rights. And indeed, much is being done. Across the globe, many companies are making a positive difference for children. Still, this is not good enough. For children's right to be truly realized, collaboration is necessary. Companies, governments, and civil society must work together, side by side.
It is estimated that the number of internet users in Kenya, including children, is 39.6 million. Teres des Homes, Netherlands, officially launched an assessment on the dark side of the internet for children in Kenya. Government, civil society, organizations, and other stakeholders worked proactively with Teres des Homes to tackle these issues. The assessment uncovered strong evidence of online child sexual exploitation, including online grooming, where children have interactions which they perceive as online dates, and in some instances leads to sexual abuse, as well distribution of child sexual abuse materials where perpetrators distribute child pornography using online platforms. Online child sexual exploitation is a real threat in Kenya, putting many children at risk of significant psychosocial and physical harm.
Sexual exploitation is actually happening. What are the chances that this has actually moved to the internet? Because the indications were that it is happening in the Philippines. In 2013, we did an assessment, a research there, and the implications of online sexual exploitation on children was actually as bad as the physical exploitation. And so, informed by that, we said, looking at the infrastructure in Kenya and the growth of ICT, and I think CA is here to confirm that, there's been a lot of growth, and if we are ranked up there globally and even in Africa in terms of high-speed internet connectivity, this in itself would pose a threat to children. And so we went ahead and did this particular assessment.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, being a developing country, is embracing technology fast, and access to internet is becoming affordable day by day. The Kenya government initiative to distribute, for example, 1.2 million laptops to children aged 7 years and above through the digital school program, access to cheap
We have also video dens within the estates where children are able to access information, but we need to ensure that we control this.
I do believe the worst form of exploitation of our kids is wrong information, misleading information, inaccurate information. Kids, because of the internet and the media, are bombarded with all manner of information. And I am worried even about their capacity to synthesize and conceptualize the kind of information they are getting from the TV, from the PlayStation, from the computer, from computer games and all these things that are available to them. And the kids of the rich people in Kenya face a greater danger. I am even happier for the girl who was saying they come from the ghetto. You are safe. But I'm asking you also to be vigilant, and I'm so happy to see that you are so knowledgeable. The other thing that has been bothering me about all these efforts that the government is doing and the private sector, the international community and the partners, was about the voice of the children in this conversation. Because when dangers are so real, then it's important that we have a conversation. And I was asking myself when I was coming here, where is the voice of the child in this conversation about their safety online? Bringing with it the expanded spectrum, availability of the internet, even in the rural areas, and all the benefits that come with technology to provide information, education, entertainment, to bring knowledge. And that's the best thing that we can bequeath our children. But even as we do so, the flip side of the coin worries me, and I'm so glad that there are other people who are seriously worried and are taking action.
Children in Kenya, particularly Mombasa and Nairobi, are befriending strangers online and often receive requests to share intimate photos of themselves. Children are also involved in live streaming of sexual acts, which takes place in private residence as well as through the unregulated cyber cafe industries. Rapid developments in internet and technology, coupled with cheap smartphones and tablets, means that more children are connected than ever before, putting them at risk of being exposed to harmful content or being exploited.
Technology comes from all that it does is not good. So technology has benefit and does not benefit. So it leads to immorality. So as children, when we see a movie, then we eager that. So it leads to immorality. The way we dress, the way we talk, and the way we see. Thank you.
For those of you who have been able to use social media, or for those of you whose friends are on social media and the internet, have you ever encountered any inappropriate text message or images or videos that either sent to you, for those of you who use social media, and also can you tell us if some of your friends have been able to see some of these text messages or images or videos? Anyone? Yes?
My friend used internet and she was asked to bring money, so that she was like that she should bring money, that her child was in the hospital, so she should bring money and go to the hospital for her to see her child, but that was a lie.
Okay, smile. Smile, ladies and gentlemen, there it is, officially being launched, the report on online child safety. We're beginning a coffee. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is officially launched.
As children grow, they become more curious to discover everything that is going around them. One thing we should do is give them sexual education so that they may know how to protect themselves. as parents, the society, we should ask ourselves, what kind of education do our children really need? What kind of direction should we give to our children as they grow up to become young adults? We had a talk with Martha Sonu, the Chief Executive Officer of Childline, and she had this to say.
Children at a certain age already know about the existence of condoms and what they're used for. That's a fact. But there is responsible and age-appropriate information in sexuality, including the use of condoms, and there is careless bombarding of children with advertisement material that is tailored in a certain way for another age, adults. But who is accessing? The children. And how have they been prepared to break down that information and make the correct choices? So it's not about whether condoms or not, it's the how they get this information, the how it is packaged for them, and the opportunity to make the right decision after getting the information.
On the other side, we sit and watch our children grow by themselves. If we leave them, we will continue having hashtags, Ifikie Wazazi. That is one thing we should not tolerate. We need to guide them, talk to them, so that they may understand, yes, they are growing, but they need to explore the right channels, not to follow what they are told to do. I have been Annelyn Barbara. For more, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter @Mtoto News. Have a blessed day.